I even looking at this, I look like Chevy. We look like brothers. It's like so crazy. He's like, what? This is outrageous. Hi, my name is Giancarlo Esposito, and today I'm reacting to my iconic roles.
Got you. What's happening? You the man.
No, 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 I'm a struggling black man trying to keep my dick hard in a cruel and harsh world. Yo, hey, what's up with the white boy?
Bugging out, don't start no shit, all right? Veto's down. Veto's down, all right? All right?
Yeah, right.
Veto's down.
Yeah. Yo! Yo!
I love it. I love this particular movie, and I adore Spike. And looking at it, it's just like it feels like yesterday.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Spike, because you've been in a lot of films, a lot of his films. Like, did you think that the films that you're in, especially things like this, would have such an impact on the community and society, and how you can watch this today and it would every single thing resonates like 100%? It
really does. The film hasn't lost any power in its message, and that's a tribute to Spike's writing and to all the performances in the film as well. I feel like my relationship with him has been very particular, a very dear friendship, and I'm always trying to be in service to what he wants to get from a movie. We had no clue that this film would be as big as it is until we were halfway through it. Oh, yeah. And that we felt an energy. We felt this energy shift and change, that we were doing something that was really important and that needed to be seen. And it was a message needed to be heard and seen by our community especially. When I started with Spike, we talked a lot about the ability to see images of ourselves as African Americans, as black people in America, that, and around the world, that really reflected who we really were and really are. And I think Spike really paved the road and paved the way for that to be seen clearly, concisely, and beautifully.
Oh, he definitely did. And I was thinking, especially with this character, and I'm not too sure, you have different relationships with different directors, but with these ones in particular, are you part of the character development, or is this really, the script is really, the character's fully developed and you're just following what Spike is giving you?
Well, it depends on what you mean by character development. His ideas and his writing I stuck to, or didn't. When I thought it needed more. I mean, Spike will tell you stories, where I changed the dialogue and didn't tell him. One scene, where I'm cleaning off my sneaker against the fire hydrant, Joao Lee came to me and said, "This doesn't really work for me." I was like, wanted to say, well, just tell your brother. Tell him to rewrite it. And she was like, "Oh, no." I said, well, here's what worked for me before. Really? I said, we'll just say something else. And it worked on School Days beautifully, because Spike loved what Fishburne went off and did his own idea of what he would say, and I did the same thing. We didn't tell each other. And we came back out and we did the scene, and Spike loved it. In this case with Joao Lee, Spike flipped out on me on the street. He went, no, Giancarlo. I'll never forget it. That's too expository. It's too expository. You can't say that. You're changing the lines, right? So he's very emphatic about what he wants, and he's willing to make it better, and he applauds me for my courageous nature to be able to challenge him. But that's what friends do.
Do you remember how I didn't respond to you last time?
Of course, I remember. I thought it was because I gained weight, and
I have been bisexual for years.
What?
You heard me right. I'm not anymore, okay?
David, you don't have to go to this extreme just because...
Gloria, I don't have to lie about this. I've lied too long as it is. I'm staying at the Biltmore. If he ever wants to see me, he has to make the first move.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love Loretta Devine. I can't take my eyes off of her. Loretta. That's what I call her. I did 2 movies with her, this and Amos and Andrew, and she's so beautiful. I'm watching her and not me. A heartbreaking scene in many ways.
Yeah.
And I think the beginning of the idea that, the undercover black man, so taboo in our community to be gay and to be open about it back then, really harsh for a black man. And I think it still carries over to parts of today where, and many people are living double lives where they're married and they're just to have it look that way. And when they really are gay, I mean, we meet them sometimes who even have children, and you go, but they're naturally gay. You can feel it. So are they living their authentic life or not? This scene, to me, I loved working with Forrest Whitaker's directorial debut in a film. I was honored to really be in this particular movie, and I didn't see this movie for many years after I made it. I mean, I'm an actor, and I'm looking at this scene now a little closely. I think I did a fairly good job depicting this man having to say this very difficult decision, and Forrest is in the right place with the right camera and the right vision for the scene. Because, I mean, what stands out to me is I thought it was because I gained weight. Like, it's the black woman takes it on herself, and I think he graciously tries to say to her, no, I've always been that way, and now I'm this way. It's changed. And, if I could say it in a different way, I'd say to this beautiful woman, it's not you, it's me. And, but a really wonderful movie, and certainly, gosh, I miss Loretta Devine. I think she's just the tops.
A true icon. I think, like what you said, this scene is really about right person, right place, right time to bring up these kind of conversations. And I think maybe a year before that, it could have been wrong, it could have been taken in a different way, but I think the way that both you and Loretta deliver it still was impactful enough for the community to really have these discussions, but also not to be so much in the face where they're almost rejecting it. And that's why I think this is just the perfect scene within this film.
That's a great point. It's a really great point. I think it did strike the proper balance to be able to open up a conversation about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Just terrific.
Who I think you are. You should give me another chance.
I don't think we're alike at all, Mr. White. You are not a cautious man at all. Your partner was late, and he was high.
Yes. Yes, he was.
He's high often, isn't he? You have poor judgment.
Gustavo's so cold, so measured and so piercing with his look.
As you were watching that, you switched into that character. You almost took like a slow breath and your face dropped into the Gustavo mode as you were watching that, which I was like, it was almost a bit scary on the side. You're like, oh, he's coming out. You can't talk about Gus and say that he's not one of the best villains ever to grace TV, or even film, to be honest. But what do you think sets him apart from other antagonists? What makes him special?
I think what makes him special is you can see beyond some of that to his being a human being. I mean, Gustavo was the beginning of me really realizing that people have two sides. And it's what moment are you catching them and what side are they going to be on? Gustavo reminds me so much of myself because he's so fierce in what he wants to get, what he's after, and how he runs his business. Maybe even a little bit tight, so close to the vest, but regimented, So it tells a part of the story of my life in many ways. I mean, it's been discipline that's gotten me to where I am. Not only love of my craft and passion, but ultimately discipline. Yeah. That's what takes me around the world and gets me here for these interviews after working in LA and being in Delaware the next 10 hours later for a lecture, and then getting here and getting off the plane and going right into press, and then right into the red carpet and going right back. It's discipline, it's desire, it's want. And so I love what I do, and I love that I have a discipline to be able to execute it. But Gus is, he's a monster, and I'm honored to have played a character like this who is regarded as one of the best ever.
What? Warning.
That can't be true. You're half white.
Nice save.
Do you remember your childhood nanny, Edda? Well, Edda had a hot cousin.
Warning.
My
Player
mother.
forfeit.
So
In
you
10
see,
seconds.
Pierce, I am your half-brother.
Oh, I love it. I even looking at this, I look like Jimmy. We look like brothers. It's like so crazy. He's like, what? This is outrageous. Oh, this job was such an interesting piece of work when, you know, Dan called me and asked me, would you please do this? And I had a gig in Portland, Oregon, I think, and I said, okay, I can come through to LA and I can do this for you. And had such a fun time in an awkward world that I wasn't used to. It's a comedy world, and where it's a very different way of creating characters. This is one of my favorite scenes, though, and I haven't seen this in probably years and years and years. Very enjoyable to do, and really an interesting piece to step into. Donald Glover, you know, come on. Donald's a monster.
Incredible talent.
Incredible talent, an incredibly beautiful, wonderful human being who cut his teeth here. And so it's really, really, really great to see this piece, because it reminds me of a quick in and out from another show that I was able to do and continue my run, you know, in that I'm versatile. Mm-hmm. You know, this displays some versatility behind all that I do, because I've been, in a way, become known for that. I mean, there were a couple seasons ago where I was doing 5 shows, including Dear White People, all in one season. Godfather of Harlem, Dear White People, Better Call Saul, all at one time.
But maybe at the cost of destroying the whole company.
I don't think I appreciate your tone, sir. Not much at all.
And I don't appreciate that the FDA now knows about Compound V, or that it's only a matter of time before the public finds out. While you're preening at the Golden Globes, we're busy running around like maniacs trying to clean up the mess you made. I don't have to consult you about Stormfront or anything else.
Oh my gosh, Stan Edgar's unflappable. He's unflappable. Not afraid of anything.
No.
And I love this corporate man, right? He's not the corporate lackey, but he's the corporate head dog in charge.
One of my honestly favorite characters to have so much courage to stand in front of what is the strongest person in the world.
That's right.
Yeah, and then be like, just sit down and shut up.
Yeah, and to tell, yeah, exactly. And to tell him very simply, without even screaming, or just very calmly, you are not a god. You are simply bad product. I mean, it's just best writing, best line ever. The Gentleman is a great collision of criminality and aristocracy in the British Empire of the contemporary time. It is a story that's about family, about loyalty, about trust, and about changing your life, moving into an area that you're completely unsure of. Eddie Horniman, who has to find a new life for himself and try to save what is essentially the aristocratic history of his family through his home and his lifestyle. So it's a story about a lot. I love a Guy Ritchie movie. It's
Who doesn't?
The title's taken from the movie, but you don't need to have seen the movie to understand the series. Completely different thing, and almost in this TV version, which is a new arena for Guy, being able to tell a story this way is even more suiting to the style of filmmaking that he does. And so had a great premiere last night, and the audience, to be in the audience and feel their reaction is just amazing. It's a great piece. It has a great rhythm, a great feel, great music, great acting, and you're gonna love it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for chatting to me.
Thank you. You did a great job.
I'm upset we didn't get to chat the Get Down, because I
love
loved
that
the
one
Get
too.
Down.